What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 24 of the Screen Team Podcast. My name is Gus.
I'm Sal.
And I'm Alex.
Beat him again. And we're the Screen Team. Well, we're going to be talking about episode 8 of WandaVision. And it's the penultimate episode, meaning that there's only one more left after this.
Yes.
And we got a lot of information in this one.
We did.
And it kind of, I was expecting more...
Action?
Not action, but more like
Answers?
conclusions, I guess, to certain storylines.
But
I think we got we did get conclusions, but
we got some answers.
you kind of have to they're not clear, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
oh, I guess that's the answer. Like you're not sure if that's the answer, but then like
Mhm.
you realize, oh, that is the answer to that.
Yeah.
More than likely.
So this episode opened with Agatha in the Salem witch trials, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's being
16 what? 93?
16. Yes.
93 Massachusetts.
Yeah. So she's gonna get burned at the stake for being a witch because that's what
From
they
other
do.
witches.
From other witches, which is kind of counterintuitive.
I wonder what
but
she did. What did she do? Did they
I guess
explain what
she-
did?
they kind of like hinted that she was trying to learn magic that she shouldn't been learning to use, essentially.
Right. I guess she was like doing like some sort of dark magic or something.
Yeah.
Or...
Yeah, so I guess they were like kind
guess
of
they have
supposed to be
rules.
like good witches or
Huh.
something, using it only for good. So there was like a point where Agatha was like, they were like about to start like sucking the life out of her or whatever.
Well, I don't know if I took it as they're good witches much as they had rules. and
Yeah,
she broke
yeah.
the rules.
Are witches ever good?
As I'm saying, like maybe they were still bad, but she took it to like another level of bad, or she just broke some rules that she shouldn't broke even as a bad witch. Where
But yeah,
they
she
decided
did.
to,
She did say at one point when they were like starting to attack her, like, oh, I could use this for good, and then they were like, nah, you can't. And so she's like, all right, fuck it. And then she like flipped the switch on them and started like sucking the life out
their
of them.
powers. Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool. And
My only problem with this is that okay, so I guess they're witches this whole time.
mhm.
Like they're always there, I guess, but they're hiding.
I don't know.
I mean, she's been around for 200, 300,
400, almost.
400. Wait, no, 300. Well, it doesn't matter.
300 yeah.
something years.
Yeah.
300 something years. I'm just like, I get, and she's
Yeah.
not the only one apparently. Right?
Yeah,
There's
but they
more.
didn't really explain like where she's been this whole time either. Like, so I don't know if she can just
Yeah, where has she been this whole time?
preserve her life. Maybe she has like some sort of like forever young spell thing that she.
That's witchcraft 101 right there.
Yeah.
They stay young.
Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't really have a problem with it or thinking about it, but I guess that's just me.
I mean,
Um,
it's not just that if it's one person, yeah, but I think it's kind of implied that there's more witches.
Sure. Yeah.
Kind of like mutants. I don't want to go to the route of like,
kind of like
mutants existed this whole time.
Doctor Strange and his oracle
Well,
lady.
yeah, magic is like an established thing in this universe, so
Like she's a witch.
Okay, but what about can they start so then will they go the route of just like mutants existed this whole time?
well, they kind of like hinted at that too, with the fact that like, so the whole episode is essentially Agatha trying to make Wanda remember how she got to this point and like how she got so powerful and how she's able to do the magic that she's able to do.
Which is already revealing in itself because it tells me that she doesn't know.
Yeah.
She doesn't know like how she's doing it, who she is really,
Yeah.
how she has her abilities, and even though she's a witch, like
So Scarlet is doing this.
so yeah. So that's one answer given there also.
Yeah.
Is that
It
that's
is
given to
Scarlet.
you
It's
without it being super clear. Is
Mm.
that it's kind of Scarlet. It wasn't really
Agatha.
Agatha controlling her,
No, yeah, no.
right?
Yeah.
She kind of just plugged herself in.
She can't control her own powers is how I read it. But yeah, so I guess like she goes through like different time periods of her life to try to see like how she got to where she was and everything. So she starts off when she was pretty young, like still a kid in Sokovia.
They
with
kinda
her
showed
family.
origin story.
Yeah, and it also showed like why she specifically
Wait,
chose certain shows to base her whole
Do you see the end credit, Alex?
sitcom.
No, I asked you if there's an end credit.
Oh god.
No, you didn't.
I did. I said, "Is there an end credit?"
I totally forgot. You
You
didn't see
moron.
the end credit.
You watch it right
I'm gonna
now.
pull it up right now.
You didn't see
You
the
have
end-
Disney Plus on your
Yeah,
phone?
I'm pulling
Okay.
it up right now.
Okay.
I
Literally
forgot
asked you,
about
like,
the end
is there an end
credit.
credit? You know. She walked away.
I just started thinking about it right now. Like, wait, I saw it
Yo,
twice
moron.
already. And it just
We'll cut it right here and we'll come back
Okay,
when
yeah, I'm
he's
gonna
finished watching
watch
it.
this end credit. All right.
An idiot.
All right, well, we're
Just
back.
watched it.
Yeah, so back to where we were before that.
The
So
end credit.
no, not the end credits
We're not
yet.
talking about the end credit.
We'll talk about that towards the end.
I just remember.
But yeah, so shows them younger and still in
Oh
Sokovia.
yeah. She's taking her
and-
through the hurt.
Yeah, and she sees like there's a point where they like purposely show like a bunch of different like VHS or DVD sets. of
Right. They open a
shows,
suitcase of DVDs.
and they're all the shows that each episode's been based off of up until this point.
Which is a little funny because I just caught something I didn't catch the first time.
I don't think Malcolm in the Middle was.
Was Malcolm in the Middle airing already?
when she
when
was.
she was a little girl?
Oh,
Five.
that I don't know about. That
Okay.
that is a little weird. I kind of
When did Malcolm in the
that
Middle
too.
first start?
Early 90s probably.
Early 90s?
Yeah.
Unless she's my
So,
age.
Okay,
no.
maybe.
It might have.
Maybe that show's older than I thought it was.
Yeah, but
Let's get a quick. Fact check.
all right, you
When
go.
did Malcolm in the Middle first air? 2000. In the year
2000.
2000.
2000.
So
Okay.
She was.
well, how old is she?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is she
I
late 20s?
Well, it's in present time, let's say. Right?
Late 20s?
She can't. Is she 20?
if she's 20.
No, she's probably 28. Let's say.
She's my age, 91.
Sure.
Yeah, they could happen.
So no, she was 9 when she was watching that show. the
Well,
first
if it
season?
was already on DVD, it must have been already out for a while now.
maybe
So-
the first season. Maybe she saw the first
Yeah.
season.
It's possible.
I guess possible that
I would
happened
say
in
it's possible.
2001,
Yeah.
I would say it's possible.
and she was 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she was 10.
I thought it was a little weird, but also at the same time, I didn't really like think about the
Yeah.
timeline too much because I don't even know how old she's supposed to be.
In my head, I thought that scene happened like in the 90s.
Yeah.
But I guess it could have happened like year
Yeah.
2001 or 2000 or.
yeah.
They didn't really say what time. Did it say the year for?
If she was
that
born
part?
in
I could've-
93, by the year.
Who said was
how
born
old
in
was she
93?
at- If she was born in I'm just putting her in my time frame. Like, how old?
Alex,
I
we
am.
already did that. You don't have to do it anymore.
She would have been 7
It's possible.
for 2000.
It's possible.
Yeah. So it doesn't really matter, but yeah. So as a family, her, Pietro, and her parents, they're watching TV because that's their thing. Well, meanwhile, like there's a whole war going on outside, so they're just trying to like keep the kids distracted and not worry about like what's going on outside. And their house gets bombed, and her parents die, and just Wanda and Pietro are left alive. And it kind of like is implied that she stops a bomb, or at least
Did.
yeah,
It was implied.
yeah. Agatha definitely was like, oh, so what did you use? Like, what type of spell
Probability
did to like disable that bomb? And she's like, I don't know, it just kind of happened. Like
Uh-huh.
I kind of just thought like it like
Happened by itself.
yeah, like it messed up on its own. So in that case, this is kind of a little bit of a retcon, I guess, in a way, that they're kind of just hinting at the fact that she's always had these powers. She just never knew how to use them,
Definitely, I think she did.
which is also going back to the fact that
mutants?
they're mutants, and
Whoa.
which is kind of good because the whole thing with mutants is that they're supposed to be born with those powers. They didn't get it
Right.
from any other source. They're just born with them. They're just different.
So witches are mutants? I didn't take it as she's a mutant. I took it as she's a witch, like the other people in the group, like 300 years ago.
Yeah,
I think they're
I
just
guess.
witches. I don't know if.
but I
that's
mean,
a mutant yet.
Quicksilver. I mean, he has super speed, so I don't know.
Phoenix is a mutant,
Yeah.
similar to Phoenix.
What
That's how I see it.
Phoenix?
From X-Men.
Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, wait.
Dark
So
Phoenix. I think her, 'cause
it-
she has like a hidden.
The storyline
don't
so
think
far,
it's
it kind
not-
of is like very similar to like the whole Dark Phoenix storyline.
It
But-
feels
see
like
it.
it. It
It's-
doesn't feel like it. Yeah, like she has like a.
No,
hidden
for me, the Dark Phoenix was more about she had like this untapped like
Potential.
power inside of her.
That's how
like-
Scarlet Witch is.
No, wait. That's just kind of like being
Dark-
tamed and like controlled
The whole
inside of her through Professor X, and then it gets unleashed because of that. With her, it's like no, she had powers, and then as we see in the next scene, they just got enhanced, and they got enhanced. They weren't unleashed. They got enhanced.
Got unleashed, bro, by the.
That's not unleashed. She never had that inside of her. They were enhanced, not
guess.
unleashed. Different, very different.
I guess.
And her lack of control in Dark Phoenix, like she doesn't even have control over it because I think she has too much power. In this situation, I think it's more that
Just lack of control, baby.
it's more like an emotional thing. Like she's emotionally
Whatever it
unstable.
is, whatever it
Yeah.
is, lack of control. It's
I
hidden
just see it. I mean,
powers.
I understand what you're saying,
She's
but
too strong for her own good.
Yeah.
She's dangerous.
Anyways,
Dark Phoenix.
so Agatha's like, "Oh, you must have done this, this, and this," and then Wanda's like, "I don't know about all that. Like, I literally didn't know if I was doing anything, but whatever." She's like, "Okay, well, let's go on to like a next big moment in your life," and then the Hydra door pops up, so they go into like when Wanda and Pietro
she's
were
being experimented on.
by Hydra, like they were volunteers.
Which, also, I mean, I like it, but it doesn't explain to me how Pietro got. Because they were saying how every other
Person has died before.
person has died, and it was implied that she had abilities, and the stone just enhanced her abilities in
Yeah.
that scene. But what's up with Pietro then? How come he didn't
Well,
die?
they're both.
Well,
Was
yeah,
he
they're
a
both
mutant? Was he a
mutants.
mutant? Huh?
They're both mutants. That would explain
Yeah,
that they're mutants, that they're born that way. That
So
I guess.
okay, but they haven't said mutants exist.
well,
Mutants don't exist. They're not X-Men. Unless
that
they're
they
going
know
to
of.
maybe.
Yeah, I think this is just them like slowly introducing the concept of mutants and like going from there, because as far as we know, like X-Men isn't going to be a thing in the MCU for a while, right? Because like the
At least
last,
three.
like,
I think 3 years. I think was
Yeah,
according
'cause
to Kevin Feige's plan.
yeah, the last thing was like Fantastic Four, and that's like supposed to be years out, right? So
I think that's sooner. I think Fantastic Four is
yeah,
sooner.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, and that's supposed to be like at least 3 years away. So, but anyways, so she's in there with the staff, and the Mind Stone is inside of the staff. I forget what the staff was called. What was it called again? Shit, I don't remember. The thing
Loki
that
staff.
Loki was using in Avengers 1, yeah.
Loki
And
staff.
so she approaches it, and like she has this like moment that apparently nobody else saw. Like it was like an instantaneous thing where
Well,
she
Okay.
yeah, so she like reaches out to it, and it breaks into the Mind Stone, and then she sees
think it's
Scarlet
her.
Witch.
I think it's her.
It's Scarlet
Like a
Witch.
premonition.
Yeah, yeah.
I
It's
think
like
she saw herself. At first, I thought it was another witch, but like she had a little.
Yeah,
like,
that was-
that little.
Yeah.
crown.
I would assume that.
That
was
I think she saw herself, like in the future.
like as her ultimate power.
You're like, oh, the little crown.
Little crown.
Yeah.
Little crown. But with Loki's staff in Avengers, he also used it to control Hawkeye and
Yeah.
right, and in those movies, they mentioned something about like it makes you see something. I don't even remember. Like
yeah.
like they had like visions of something. So I don't know if like everyone when they're in contact with that stone, like they're able to see some sort of.
I mean, it is an Infinity Stone, so I guess it
Yeah.
could just. The rules behind them are very weird because they created the universe, right? Like
Yeah.
all of them. So
Okay, well,
I think.
Yeah.
that was a cool scene. But
Yeah, I don't know. I think it just because it enhanced her powers, right? I
Right.
think it was just like the Scarlet Witch or whatever it is, kind of like the Dark Phoenix. It just like entered her. It's like, or it was unleashed. It was
Entered
like,
her?
It was like released. It was.
So the way that they talk about, so spoilers are at the end, they
the whole thing
Yeah.
spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, skip ahead without talking about the rest of the stuff real quick. Like Agatha tells her that she uses chaos magic, and that means that she's a Scarlet Witch. So I think the whole Scarlet Witch entity is kind of like bigger than just Wanda herself.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
it's kind of like a
Wait. Okay, so I was
Never-ending
confused
cycle
by.
that
Yeah.
goes into different people, and
Yeah.
she's the chosen one this time.
Wait, so
She's the Scarlet Witch.
yeah, that's how I took it. I was confused. Is the Scarlet Witch just the witch who uses this type of magic, or is this because she also said how she was using it kind of irresponsibly, or like she was using it to make breakfast for dinner or dinner for breakfast or whatever she said.
Mm.
But she kind of made a comment of like, oh, she has all this power, but she's also not using it like to her full potential. Is that a Scarlet Witch? That's the second thing, or is it like
I think it's
like
the
a
chosen
myth, like a myth that like one day like there's gonna be this
I feel like it's
Scarlet
kind of
Witch,
like
this
a
jet
myth
like
type of thing.
kind of like
I think
Luke or
it's-
something,
like a
right?
prophet.
Like
Chosen
a
one.
like a
Like
premonition, like
Avatar.
a
like Avatar. You know, it gets
Yeah.
reincarnated.
Yeah,
Scarlet Witch
kinda like that.
reincarnated every time they die.
I mean, kind of similar to what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Close
yeah,
to what
pretty
I'm
much.
saying.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's this like mythological being almost like that's all powerful type of deal.
That they're what's that word called? Like they're supposed to come out soon.
Yeah,
What is that called?
prophesied.
Prophecy. Yeah,
Yeah.
the prophecy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Prophesied,
Sure.
like the one or something.
yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
Neo.
So yeah, like Neo or something.
yeah,
Just saw it was so great. But
Did you really with Lily or what?
yeah, she didn't like
The
it,
first
but-
one or all of them?
No, just her. She can't. She won't be able to sit through all of
Oh,
them.
man.
yeah. If
Wait,
she didn't
Leslie,
like the
watch
first
all
one,
of
she won't like the other
The
ones.
first
The first one's the best one.
Yeah, it's downhill from
She
there.
has so many questions. I'm just like,
What?
like, why this? Why are they all dressed like that? Like they're cool. What do you mean? Why are the agents like? What are they like? How do they move? Like, I guess she thought their agents were people. I'm like, no, they're
like-
the best way to explain
viruses.
the best way they're just robots. Man, robots. They're not real. They're not real.
They're
humans.
like virus protection or something, right?
I get it. Yeah, they're
basically.
programs. Yeah,
Protection,
but
yeah.
just like. I was like, oh, so now they know kung fu or what? Like, yes, that's amazing. That's cool, huh? Right? Like, like that's stupid. No, that's so awesome.
But yeah, so yeah, she has that little vision, and no pun intended, and
Yeah.
she sees what we think or probably assume is Scarlet Witch, her as a Scarlet Witch, like further down the line. And it
Right.
could just end up being the final episode that we get that shot again, but just like fully revealed because it was like just a silhouette, not like the whole figure.
Also, in that scene when they review
The
the
tape.
tape,
Yeah, it was
right?
like
It
instant.
glitches.
Yeah.
Right. Like it doesn't show that scene.
Mhm.
Right. And it's kind of like reminiscent of her controlling the shows.
Mhm.
Right. When they try to watch
Yeah.
it, like it kind of skips.
Yeah, like the
It-
scenes like that she doesn't want other people to see.
Right.
Essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
It just reminded me of that.
Yeah. And then
And
after
then-
that, it's when she goes into get
Sword.
vision from Sword, and she sees them like dissecting him and taking him apart and everything, and
Which-
her emotional breakdown
Yeah.
from that, which was kind of so basically Sword lied, or the commander
Yeah,
lied.
We found out that
Yeah.
she didn't actually break in and take Vision.
Yeah.
That-
Right. She didn't actually take. We learned from that at first because she went in there and then she left. I thought, oh, maybe she's still gonna come back in there and take them.
Mhm.
Because I thought in my head maybe like that Vision is still the body, but somehow she's gonna teleport him or bring him
go
somewhere,
back and take
go
him
back
again.
and take him.
Mhm.
But I guess that never happened. Like,
Yeah, that.
but we'll
just,
talk about that later. But that conversation that she had, I kind of understood it from the bad guy's point of view too. Like, oh, it's a person, but it's also just a robot, like piece of metal.
Yeah.
Like if it's really $3 billion, if they bury that, someone is gonna steal it.
yeah.
Someone is definitely gonna steal it. Like you can't just bury
Yeah.
$3 billion worth
Yeah.
of metal.
Which, I mean, she understood. That's why she didn't take the body, right? She just left and she was mourning, and
Right.
so
But again, that wasn't their ultimate plan. To
Yeah, they
they
weren't
had it.
just gonna just take the parts. They were trying to rebuild it to use
Right.
it as a weapon.
they were,
essentially.
yeah, which is what they obviously no one's okay with that part. But
Yeah,
as far as maybe taking apart and
and
research and blah blah blah. Okay.
and I think this was like a really like important like scene too, like in post Tony Stark era, because Tony would never want this type of deal because this is like
He
one of
already
his
created it.
fears.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
already
he
created
didn't
it.
want his
Well,
suits to be used
he
as a weapon
helped-
for other people.
He was his fear at first,
Mm.
and then he was really scared of it when
Iron
he
Man
made
3.
Ultron. But then he made Vision anyway. So
Yeah,
he kind of got over that. didn't he?
yeah,
He
but
made
I
Vision.
think
to counter Ultron though.
yeah,
But again, my point is,
but I think
by the
I
end
think,
of Ultron, he was like, "All right, I'm okay with this."
I think it was more because he was there to regulate it type of deal, as
Mm.
opposed to like him not even being a part of the whole discussion. But yeah, so she goes down, she like freaks out, and she like sees him like being like dissected and stuff, and she just like ends up like freaking out, but she doesn't steal him, she just leaves. And
Right.
when she gets in the car, she sees a letter on her car seat.
I think it was always there,
Yeah.
right?
I didn't see it as it being popped up into the.
At first, I thought it was like, "Oh, someone put that letter there," but I
Yeah.
think because we saw later that had a V. Like I think it was from Vision.
Yeah.
And she.
Wait, what the fuck was the letter?
There was
Oh,
an
yeah,
envelope
she
on
opened the
the car seat and the passenger
That's
seat.
how she went to the house.
Yeah, so she knew where to go, the property, and then it shows like that they bought this property together.
That Vision had bought it.
Yeah, and like
I think Vision had bought it.
like, it
without
was like
her
a
knowing.
surprise.
Yeah.
So that they can live together.
I didn't catch that. I don't know.
What
Space.
the heck are you?
Space.
talking about?
I was starting to doze off a little bit after all these back-to-back scenes of like I was like I don't know.
What?
I was not enjoying it. I really wasn't.
Damn.
Do you enjoy anything in life?
I didn't enjoy the flashbacks. I don't know. It's just like flashback after flashback. I was just like, okay, like what's?
You wanted action.
I want.
They were giving
the
answers,
story to
though.
progress forward.
I actually think this is my best. This is my favorite episode.
You're
Actually,
gonna waste the whole episode on just explaining things like plot holes. I guess.
TV.
I think they
didn't
needed
like it.
one episode where they explained how
That's
things
exactly,
happened,
That's exactly what they did. Yeah.
which is what I needed. I liked that episode when they explained things. It's like
Yeah,
oh, thank
I
you. This is
definitely
why.
anticipate the next episode being much more,
Action packed.
yeah, and
Yeah,
like
for sure.
engaging if you're not into that sort of thing. But yeah, so she leaves, and then the whole property thing, it was just an empty spot that I guess Vision got for them so that they could live together and
So this is my
have a
next
happy life.
not problem. I always say like I have a problem with that. Not really a problem, but just like more questions.
Mhm.
Go.
So that's not Vision's body,
Okay.
clearly, right? So
Mhm.
she made him out of nothingness.
Kind of.
Which I've heard people
Yeah.
say that nothingness.
Yeah.
Which and she also made.
She-
I'm not even questioning it. Which is another answer. These are also other answers being answered that we don't realize, but again, they're being answered.
Mhm.
She made out of nothingness, and she also made her kids out of nothingness.
Yeah.
So I don't think they can exist out of.
So
the world.
It feels
I
like
don't know
she
about
made
that,
him.
though.
Okay, so what I got out of that scene where she's creating Vision, because it was like yellow things emanating out of
Mhm.
her. It's like she has like some kind of connection with the Mind Stone, right? That's why she was like so in love with him, is because he
Mhm.
was created out of the Mind Stone.
Yeah.
And I think Scarlet Witch came out of the Mind Stone. I think she has a part of the Mind Stone in her with
She
her,
does.
and that's why she was able to create Vision. So she didn't really create him out of nothing. She created him using the Mind Stone, which is what he's already made out of.
Yeah. And,
So
and I think
I think he's real. I think that part of him is.
But
real.
what about when you try to leave her
I
boundary,
think,
her
I
hex?
think he just kind of is contained in that areas, and I think what's gonna happen is that now there's like an actual physical vessel that they created. He's gonna come in
like
and then-
merge
That's
together.
like yeah.
together.
I believe that too. That they're gonna
like,
fuse. I believe that too.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Which would be a perfect combination of like.
Yeah. I hope
the-
Vision is gonna be around for like the rest, or not the rest of the MCU, but for a long haul. Because they killed him off like 3 times already, just for them to like
3
not.
times.
Well, yeah,
twice.
twice with
Twice.
Thanos, and then
Twice in one moment, but
And
then
then-
3 minutes. I can say that one time, sure.
Yeah.
He died once.
I mean for her it was twice.
For him, yeah.
Because she had to kill him once, and then
Yeah,
Thanos
Thanos
killed her.
killed Mhm.
Yeah. And then if he dies now, then that'll be the 3rd time. But, yeah. So
I think the kids are real.
I think
I don't
So
think
too.
they're real.
Um,
Well, the thing is, I think maybe there's a way for them to become permanently real, but I don't think as of right now they can leave the hex and like exist.
because
I think something else has to happen. Something
'cause
else has to happen.
Didn't Agatha say something about like how chaos magic essentially is just like being able to create something from nothing?
Yeah.
And
That's what she's
and
doing.
like so she's like the only person that can do that, because she thought it was weird that she like
Okay, so then
was being able to do all this, right?
Let's say they're able to exist outside the hex, whatever,
Mhm.
and they're created out of nothing or out of her magic, out of her chaos magic.
Yeah.
So then, to me, the way I see it though is that if Scarlet Witch dies, the kids will die too. Like they're
She's
being
powering
powered-
them
yeah, she's
type of
powering
deal.
them up. To me, that's
Same
not,
with Vision too. I would
yeah,
say.
to me, that's not them existing. With Vision, a little different, especially if he merges with the
the other body.
with the body. It's like
Mhm.
it's a combination of the two where it can exist.
Yeah.
It can actually exist, but the kids, it's like they
It's
don't exist. Like they're being powered by something else. They're being powered by magic, by something else.
Yeah, and as far as like Pietro, she also asked her about that, like, well then who's that? Like like you know, like she's like, well, that's not like actually my brother's body.
Right.
She's like, well, yeah, your real brother is kind of shot up, so I had to take him with a necromancy spell from somewhere else.
So no
basically.
no.
No,
I don't think
universe.
so.
That's how I interpreted
It's not.
it.
I don't.
It's not X. It
I
wasn't.
don't think.
Yeah.
It was just.
It was
throw us
Disney.
off.
It was Disney fucking with us, like I said when he
Uh-huh.
first came out. I
Think
was
so,
like,
yeah.
I felt like it was just Disney
Playing
messing-
games.
Playing
Mm.
games with our heads.
Which is kind of cool though.
I kind of read it as like she took him from a different like
That's still possible.
It's still possible.
That's
to
still
go- to go
possible.
from another
Yeah.
dimension. And
Yeah, to
like
use him,
unintentionally, maybe. You know, like she just created this body, but it was like
yeah,
the
but
body
she said
from-
she didn't create his body. She took his body from somewhere else.
no.
I thought that's what she said.
You think she created him, Max?
I thought she just needed another body.
No, because she said it's like a classic necromancy spell, but she needed the body, so she got the body from someone else or something like that.
Okay, so I guess it could have.
It could still.
taken
I
him.
still see it as a possibility that he's the X-Men one, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
We still
Where-
haven't gotten our cameo either.
Where is he now?
If we're gonna get a cameo.
Yeah.
I think we are.
I thought that was Vision. You know, at the end credit scene, that was it. That's the cameo. No more cameos.
I can't. No. So
Hope
the
not.
thing.
I still think it's gonna be Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
the
So
safest bet.
there's this whole thing like, I guess like all the actors have been like repeatedly like interviewed about like some of this stuff, right? And one of the things that Paul Bettany, who plays Vision, said is that he gets to work with an actor he's never been able to work with before. So I'm gonna assume that he means that he's working with himself, like he's acting alongside himself, because he's gonna be the other Vision plus the White Vision going at each other type of deal.
Interesting.
So that's I feel like it was kind of like a joke on his part, like he was
that's a
just
good
kind of
one.
like
But it has nothing
messing.
to do with the cameo.
Yeah.
You're just talking
Well,
about.
he said like it was like the bit like one of the like the cameos, like, oh, I don't know if I can reveal this, like, but
They
I guess
should-
one of the actors I've wanted to work alongside
They should
the
interview
most or
the
something.
Hulk. What's his name? Mark something.
Mark
Mark
Ruffalo,
Ruffalo?
so he could
Mark
just spoil
Ruffalo,
everything.
Spoil everything, man. Just interview that guy. That guy don't tell us.
No, they don't tell him anything.
No, they don't tell him
I don't
anything
think.
anymore.
I don't think they would tell him about, especially WandaVision, something he's not even a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Too
they
high of a
know,
risk.
He's
dude.
really
They-
bad
they-
at
They
that.
they won't tell him.
Oh God, that's funny.
But yeah, so and then the episode ends with Agatha saying like, "Oh yeah, you're the Scarlet Witch, ho," and she's like, "What the fuck?" And cuts to the "Please stand by" screen or whatever.
Right.
Then the post-credit scene, Commander or whatever the fuck his name was from Sword, is using that little drone that got sent back out by Wanda, that had all her powers still like imbued in it to power up
Vision.
the other Vision,
The White Vision.
the White Vision, and
The White Vision. Yeah.
The White Vision.
and yeah, so that was it. So next episode's the final.
Is Vision
episode.
gonna be able to fight Vision?
I don't know. I don't know how it works. I'm interested to see like.
They're
Just
gonna
exactly what
merge,
they
bro.
do.
They're gonna merge. Vision's coming back.
I hope so, cause I like
hope so.
Vision. Like I like what they've done with this character, especially obviously from this. Like they actually gave him more character
And
instead of just being
also,
this, like,
again,
thin
I mean,
manager.
it ended up being, I think, what I thought from the beginning of the season of the show, which was that it was just Scarlet Witch being very emotional about
Mhm. the loss.
the loss of Vision, and then
Yeah.
she's doing all of this, she's creating all this, and I would go back and forth like, oh, maybe someone's controlling her, but
Mhm.
it ended up just being it was her the
yeah,
whole time,
it was her
right?
the whole time.
So is she a bad guy?
No.
She's have all these people on autopilot on the outskirts. They're being
I would-
tortured essentially, like
I'm
not
almost
tortured,
on the-
but we got the reaction from the people who are being controlled.
Yeah.
Like they're not
Yeah.
they're not in control. They don't like it. They're being
Yeah.
controlled essentially.
I don't
I'm
necessarily
rooting
see
for
her.
White Vision, man. I'm rooting for the Commander dude in White Vision. That's what I'm going for.
Dude, those are
It
the
feels
good
like
guys.
They're the good guys.
They're the
Yeah,
good guys.
Yeah.
That's why I think if there is still a big cameo left, I think it's probably gonna be Doctor Strange, and he's gonna have to like teach her how to use her magic properly or how to control it better. Because they haven't had any interaction together, huh?
She doesn't really do spells though? Is she gonna be doing spells and stuff like?
I
or
don't
is
know,
it just
because
something, like-
she's just kind of winging it so
Yeah.
far. It seems like she just like thinks of something and just it works. But like maybe she has like some sort of like obviously hidden power that she
Witch,
doesn't really.
man.
Yeah. And yeah, so I don't know, but I definitely think the episode will probably end with her going off with Doctor Strange or something, and like trying to
I think it's
figure
getting
out
it's getting a little crazy for me. Like magic is like
Yeah, that's what I was.
just
magic and time
something
travel are the hardest things to
do.
explain.
yeah. You have to be able to explain, right? Like
Mhm.
for example, with the Matrix. I'm going back to the Matrix. Like there was an explanation for kung fu. Like it made sense to me. Like they're in a computer world, and he's being downloaded all this information
Yeah.
because he's in a computer world. Like it makes
But why
sense.
kung fu? Why not something better than kung fu? You know?
I mean,
I'm just kidding.
I think they're gonna kill off Scarlet Witch.
I
Not
don't
in
know.
this season.
how do you explain?
Not in the show, but I think they're gonna eventually just kill her off. She's too OP, man.
No, I mean, if she becomes a villain,
She's
maybe
gonna die in.
is she gonna be is she gonna be a villain?
like Dark Phoenix?
Oh my god, here we go again.
I don't know.
It's just Dark
I
Phoenix.
don't
maybe
know
like
what-
Dark Phoenix, yeah, sure. Cause
I-
is she a villain in the comics?
Not really, but she's had some.
I thought she was part of the Avengers in the comics at
Is
one
she part
point.
of Avengers?
So like one
Sure
of
about
like the
that.
biggest storylines I think that she's part of is House of M, and that's also directly related with Doctor Strange, and I think that's how a lot of mutants are created too. I don't know,
Oh,
but I don't know.
also another theory of mine, just throwing out like again, is trying like how are they gonna introduce all these mutants? Because mutants are born with their powers, or they got their powers, whatever's. They weren't built. It wasn't an experiment. It wasn't
yeah.
right. They're not gods.
I mean, there's gods.
No, but I'm saying mutants aren't gods. They're born with something biological or something.
Yeah,
Right. Or
a mutation,
a mutation or
if you
something.
will.
Since what's her name? Photon
Yeah.
got her abilities essentially just like going back like with this hex. Like, is it possible where something happens where like this expands like to the whole world and like some people get
Mutated.
mutations?
Oh,
Essentially.
you think they're gonna create mutants?
Well,
here? Like,
because that's better than saying, "Oh, they were
they
here the
exist
whole
on-
time."
Why?
You're telling me Wolverine was around the whole time? All these mutants were around the whole time during New York, during the Avengers, the first Avengers during New York, during Ultron. Like, why didn't they come out? They're just some of these mutants are more powerful than some of the Avengers. Professor X is more powerful than Iron Man.
Sure.
Why wouldn't it? Doesn't explain why they weren't out,
Yeah.
especially when there's so many and some of them are like really powerful. Like
just in
they,
the shadows.
to me,
Maybe-
it would be a mistake to
Well,
say they were
so-
there the whole time.
So kind of like the whole like Mind Stone, like kind of not awakening Wanda's powers, but like enhancing them. Maybe Wanda's power enhances the people that were already mutants, but they didn't like really have like crazy powers yet. You know what I mean?
But even if some didn't have crazy power, so you're saying all of them, there's a lot of them that had powers, but they're really small.
Maybe
To
they're
m-
just like kind of like are not awakened yet. Maybe like it just takes like something to push them over the edge. Type
To me,
of
that's
deal.
still them being created. Then
Yeah. No, I'm saying like maybe that's how they kind of like explain it. Like they already had like some sort of power in them, but they just couldn't use it yet until Wanda's power like activated it or something. I don't know. It's
to me, I'd rather just go the full blown. Oh,
They're
Wanda
just created.
just
them.
created their powers because that doesn't make sense. How do they have powers but they didn't have powers?
Yeah.
You
Well,
how do they have abilities but they didn't?
Why
That
would
doesn't make
some
sense.
people get mutations and other people not get mutations?
That's the way mutations work sometimes. Sometimes same thing with
It's-
mutant in the
Well,
X-Men world. Some people get
I
mutations,
mean,
some people don't.
have mutations now, and it's just different.
Right.
like eye
Not all
colors
of them
and stuff like that.
We don't
It's
all
just-
get
yeah.
mutations. Just it's like getting a disease or a virus. Like let's say not that it is. Like some of them got a disease, some got a virus, some didn't
Yeah.
because of the way their body is.
I don't know, but that's all speculation. We have no way of really knowing because I feel like even though like we could have kind of assumed like to this point this is where the story would go. I don't think we really have like a clear idea of like what the ending's gonna be like exactly. I don't know. It's definitely been really good though.
It
In
better
my
be a good
opinion.
cameo,
I love
man.
it. I know
Sounds
Alex
like
just
Very good
didn't like this episode, but
I don't like this episode.
You didn't like last episode? Did you like? What was your favorite episode, Alex?
The first 3. When they're doing like the I Love
The
Lucy
shows?
and yeah.
Those are actually my least favorite.
Those were funner.
They were different, but like I said from the beginning, I liked them and I enjoyed them. I just hope that eventually they would get like down to business and be like, oh, this is why it's happening. Like
I think
this is
my
just
favorite episode might have been when they introduced Rambo, when they show her coming
That's
out.
the
like
first
back
episode
from
when
the
it got
snap?
real.
Yeah.
That's like that was like a
That
one
was
of,
episode 3 or 4.
that was like an explanation episode
Yeah.
Yeah.
where they. This is like a full blown Rambo episode. What are you talking about?
Not really. No.
But-
OMG. Whatever.
Just like,
I mean, I guess we'll see next week or in
yeah,
a couple
it
of
just
days.
feels like they
Actually,
wasted a whole episode just to answer questions.
They have 9 episodes. They didn't waste it. There was always supposed to be this episode. Does it make sense?
I think it was necessary because then if
Necessary.
they didn't do it, then there would just be a bunch of people like, "Oh, you guys didn't explain this," or "You."
I
didn't
could have done
explain
like a
this," blah, blah,
slow, like every episode they reveal a little bit.
They did reveal a little bit.
So you
The
like
Rambo
reveal
episode
everything.
revealed a little bit.
blah. Yeah,
I
I don't
know.
know. I was fine with it. I enjoyed this episode a lot.
And I still don't think they revealed everything. Like I said, like there's still more questions. If a Vision and the kids are gonna be able to exist outside? What's gonna happen with Photon? What's gonna happen with
Pietro.
Quicksilver, Pietro? Yeah,
Yeah.
like, not everything is answered.
Yeah.
Again, and also, I feel like they kind of foreshadowed about how they might it might not end good because remember the Malcolm in the Middle episode? Well, I mean the episode when Wanda and Vision are watching Malcolm in the Middle in the room,
Mm-hmm.
and the dad is
roof
building the
collapse.
house and it
It
collapses on
collapses
him.
on him.
And she says, "Oh," or they're talking about how if it's funny or not, and she said, "Oh." He asked, "Oh, it's funny for someone to get hurt," and then she says he's not hurt, and he says, "Well, how do you know?" I'm summarizing,
Yeah.
generalized, but he says essentially that, or
Yeah. I think
so it's funny when someone gets hurt, and she says, "Well, it's not that type of show," right? But
Yeah.
to me, it's foreshadowing. Like, okay, so does that mean this is not that type of show, or it is that type of show? To me, I think
I
in the
think it's
beginning
definitely
it was.
intentional because they could have chose from like any episode of Malcolm in the Middle.
Mhm.
So
Right, it was intentional.
Yeah.
I think the first few episodes were that type of show, and the last few are not that type of show. So they're gonna be, someone could get hurt.
it's gonna collapse on her essentially.
Something's gonna happen.
Yeah. But yeah. What did you want to talk about movie wise or something?
Oh,
I
I
have
just
an
have
idea.
an idea to start
Oh,
watching movies
No,
again.
here we go.
What, you don't want to watch movies anymore? This is a
What?
movie.
They're gonna come out on HBO and.
Sure, but
movie?
let's like what's after WandaVision? We're just gonna keep doing shows. We're just gonna keep doing.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
No, I want to do movies
Yeah.
still. So
I
definitely
mean, there's a lot out. Like
Kong and
some that
Kong and
we've missed.
Godzilla are gonna be coming out
Yeah.
at the end of March, but there's Justice League is in the middle of the month, right?
March.
It's like the 14th or something. I don't remember
It's
the
2
exact date.
weeks?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It's
It's coming.
definitely
So
gonna
we'll
be
have
Justice
those
League.
two for sure, and then, I mean, if we see any movies along the way that we missed or whatever, like I haven't seen Tenet yet. I don't know if you guys saw it
Oh,
already.
shit.
What?
Yeah, I wanted
Don't
to
watch
watch
it.
it in theaters, but
I kind of disappointed, but.
yeah.
I need to watch it with subtitles. The only movie
But
I need to watch
yeah,
with
I don't know.
subtitles.
Just there's definitely movies that we haven't seen that we could watch.
I
At
just
some
saw
point.
Bombshell this last week. That was a good one.
The news one.
Yeah,
What's
that
her
was a
name?
really good one with the director from
The Big Short
and
and all that.
Vice.
Yeah.
It's a good movie, man. It's a good movie, good acting, good story. I feel like we're missing out on some movies out there that we haven't seen.
I mean, yeah, there's a
We'll
lot of
discuss
movies
it.
we haven't
We'll
seen.
discuss.
But yeah,
So
we'll
it's
we'll,
not
we'll
into-
definitely have to
discuss it.
figure out the
No
schedule
time,
because
apparently to watch any movies.
yeah, we'll figure out the
'cause you were
schedule
saying-
for it.
You were saying
You saw The Matrix.
his
this week.
original plan was like 3 different movies.
No. We all watch a movie.
Different
in the first
movie.
half of the week, and then
We all decided on which movie
and then
from
the
those
second half
3.
of the week we all vote on which
That's
movie
2 movies.
to review.
My bad, 2 movies.
If your movie gets chosen, well, you don't
That's
have
like
to
6
watch another
hours of
movie.
movie.
If your movie doesn't get chosen, well, now you have a second movie to watch, and you have to watch that movie.
Okay. I'm not even just saying for myself sometimes, like for all of us. Like 1 week, one person might not be able to watch 2 movies, and next week, like today, you just watched WandaVision an hour before the show.
Yeah.
You're telling me you telling me you could watch 6 hours worth
I
of
saw
movies now
Bombshell.
instead
I saw
of
Bombshell this
instead
week,
of 30
and
minutes?
and I almost finished watching District 9. Yeah, I watched a lot of it.
To be fair, the episode has been coming out on Fridays, so
Yeah, they come
it's only
out
2 days to
yeah.
watch it. But
They come out
For
on
one
Fridays.
episode.
Yeah.
I'm just. I don't
No,
know.
I get what you're saying. We'll definitely figure this
Yeah,
out.
bro. You watch
This is
TV.
Not only that,
not needed to be in the
I think-
podcast.
I
So
think everyone's gonna be watching these Marvel shows. Like next is
well,
Winter
literally,
Soldier.
like as soon as this ends,
Yeah,
Falcon Winter
and
Soldier
then literally
starts
after
up,
that, Loki.
Loki, yeah.
Like
So
we already have to watch that. If anything, it should be one episode
and one
and
movie.
one movie.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. But we just gotta
I think
discuss
that's
like how
So
we
we're
go about
doing
it best.
all of Falcon Winter Soldier for sure, and
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't see how we're not
Yeah, it's too
too popular not
popular
to
to
talk
pass up. Yeah.
about. I was trying to avoid Disney.
trying to just
Alex
avoid-
doesn't like watching shows. it
I
feels
like. I don't like watching shows. I really don't. Unless
Really?
they're really
But-
good.
but the
Like
thing is-
Attack
okay.
on Titan
But the thing is, what
or
these shows are different.
Breaking Bad.
These shows are way
they
different
have bigger implications.
because they're connected to the movies that we're
I feel
for
like
sure
I'm being
gonna watch.
forced to watch these shows, man. This is forcing me to watch these shows. Do not want to go along
I
with this.
I
ride.
honestly prefer them have doing. So if they
It's
were
a
to have
chore.
made WandaVision into a movie instead, I don't think it would have been as good. Like nearly as good.
I like that it's a show. Like,
Yeah.
it's different, and not only that, these other shows they're gonna be different than WandaVision. WandaVision, like the format.
I
was
think
different.
Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be much more action packed.
I think.
I mean, even the
Loki-
trailer.
I think Loki's probably gonna be my favorite from what I've seen. But Falcon and Winter Soldier is gonna be. Like,
Then there's just some other exciting
Wasn't like
weird
Winter
thing.
Soldier like
adventure.
your favorite Marvel movie?
Winter Soldier is one of my favorite Marvel movies for sure.
It's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be more of
An
that.
extension of Winter
Yeah.
Soldier.
I hope.
Yeah, it definitely
But
looks
why
to have
you
the
being
spy.
So, negative about it. I'm confused.
I just
I
don't.
hope.
I
Well,
just
of
don't
course
like
you hope. You know what?
shows, man. They're just too much, too long. They're
They're
not quick to the point.
though.
They're,
See, that's the
you
thing.
know?
Like, okay, so
Yeah, I need
this is like
something
a
to
bigger
keep my
discussion
attention
on
there.
TV versus movies, right?
Yeah.
So movies lately have been on average probably 2 to 2.5 hours, right?
Depends.
Sure.
Yeah. On the
So-
genre.
Like that's already like 5 episodes of a show.
Dude, yeah, these are not only that. These are short episodes. I don't even see these. The shows that I don't like are the ones that are like 30 episodes long, like Lost, like 5, 10.
And there's not a bunch of filler.
No.
Like this is, to me, it's a long movie.
Yeah,
It's just a long movie.
and you're excited for Justice League, which is 4 hours.
I'm
and
very excited for Justice League.
That makes no
Yeah,
sense.
that is very. Yes, it's one and done, man. You get there, you get the beginning of the story, you get the end of the story, and that's it. You don't gotta wait around for
A week. I like
6
waiting.
weeks, 7 weeks, however
I
many
like it.
episodes. It's,
I like being
But
able to have the
do you like the
discussion
Marvel-
and
do you
discussing.
like the Marvel movies?
Yeah,
They're all connected.
but it's still.
It's like one
story.
long show.
It's one story. It's one long story. It's from beginning to end, every single story, and they have like cliffhangers or things that keep your attention to watch the next one. Sure, but every movie it's individual.
But the show,
to itself,
the show,
to
like
other movies.
between movies, you have to wait half a year for the next movie.
That's fine.
That's it,
dude.
right?
I prefer
And then,
this
and then
format.
and really, you don't really get answers to like maybe an Avengers movie, which is like a year, 2 years to get answers from a previous. Like, and in the Civil War, things happen. Like, oh, when do we get to see Cap and Iron Man interact? Not until Avengers: Infinity War. Like, how many years later? Like, they're all like, it's one long show, really,
Yeah.
with their own movies. But you actually wait longer. In this show,
Yeah.
it all happened in like 2 months and like less.
Yeah. Okay. Question then. So, do you prefer when all the episodes are released right away, or do you?
I would prefer that.
Oh, okay.
Oh well,
So you-
it doesn't make sense at all. For
Yeah, I don't think.
it
that-
doesn't make sense for any platform to do that.
Yeah.
Not only that, people talk.
'Cause
get
people
to
stop
talk
talking
and
about it,
dissect. Yeah,
yeah.
people stop talking about it for sure.
But
Netflix does it.
and their
and
shows
it's
get
not
forgotten
good.
about
Yeah.
in like a week.
Yeah, exactly. People forgot about Stranger Things within days of
Yeah, I heard
last-
people
of the
talking
season
about
was
that
terrible, or
chess game, the
the
chess or show, Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit. Yeah.
That people were talking about that for like a good week, and I haven't heard people talk about it since. And like they said it was like amazing, but
yeah.
I don't know.
They're
I
gonna,
like
they're
both
gonna eventually
ways.
do that.
I
think
like
so.
both
Don't
ways,
care
but
if people are talking about it. I just care whether it's good or not, and you can enjoy the whole thing.
Well,
Through
I enjoy people
personal
talking about it
experience.
because I enjoy.
I like the week to week,
theories, talking.
yeah.
We're talking about it now. We wouldn't be able to have all these conversations and
Yeah.
expand on each episode as much as we would if it was all one long thing. Because we would have just watched the whole thing and then talk about it.
Yeah, I
for an
understand
hour.
that. I understand that. Yeah. It's just
So
boring to me. Sorry.
Oh my!
It's just a little bit
Dude.
boring to me.
Wow.
All right.
I prefer movies. Yeah. Unless it's on Attack on Titan, like I said, unless it's a really, really good show. We're not gonna remember this show 10 years from now. WandaVision. It's just gonna be like.
Here we are.
I might.
What are you talking
I
about?
don't think so.
Do you remember the first Iron Man?
The movie?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Do you remember Lost?
I mean, I don't really remember much about it.
This is the first Marvel show. We'll probably remember this one more than the other ones. It was the first one.
And it probably has the biggest
I think
impact so far. But yeah, I don't know.
You can't make yourself forget things, bro. You're gonna remember it. You make it sound like
I forgot about Lost, dude.
No, you didn't. You remember Lost. Anyways.
Yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Later.